Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, wherever you are watching us from. Remember that today we're having a special broadcast and we're having a member and, of course, the leader of the Glasgow African Balafon Orchestra in the person of Chief Chebe. Chief Chebe, you are most welcome to the program.
Thank you very, very, very much for inviting me. I feel a very, very special privilege to be appearing on OI Media Scotland.
Thank you very much. I mean, we've known each other for quite a while now. We are not strangers to each other. I think that should be dating for as far back as about 10 years, thereabout.
I think it's more than 10 years, Samuel. You know, it's amazing when you start counting the years. But, you know, it's been really, really, it's been very, very, very good. I enjoy coming and having a chat at your media platforms. And I enjoy watching your effort to just kind of constantly put some of the African programs in Glasgow and around Scotland to just keep, because there are a lot of issues that you constantly cover, and we really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. I mean, it's community effort, just the same way that on your side and many of our brothers and sisters here, we have people that are involved in politics. We have people that are running community organizations. We have people running charitable organization and, of course, other forms of activities to contribute to the community and, of course, also to uplift the African community in particular. Now, I will not uh, deny those people that are watching us because if I have to rely on what I know about you, then I wouldn't give them that chance to know more about who you are. So I will allow you to give justice to that. Chief Chebe, Chief Sulaiman, who is Chief Chebe, and how far have you come to reach where you are today?
Well, it's very good to be asked this question nearly every day. I'm just a very, very, very happy person, positive person, and I think that there is a lot of beauty about our world, and there is a lot of beauty in Glasgow and Scotland, and to me, music and storytelling and writing is part of sharing that beauty of the world that I find myself in, and that's it. I mean, for during the lockdown, just like anybody else, I suddenly found out that you know most of the things I would be doing regularly, I couldn't do them anymore, like visiting schools and playing and telling stories and, dancing about. All of that just came to a standstill. And therefore, everybody had to really look at different ways to just make life meaningful. And I think it was at that point that I started thinking about the Glasgow African Balafon Orchestra, a concept that has been in my mind for a long time. I thought, well, sometimes tragedy can also bring new opportunity. The tragedy of coronavirus has been very, 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 very difficult to bear in so many ways. But in another way, it has given us all space to be able to rethink and redo things that we've not been thinking it was possible in the past. So that's where I am. That's who I am, and that's where I am.
Okay, that's
Just
great.
playing a lot of music and enjoying it.
And of course, you've been involved in drumming and training people on drumming, and of course also using drums to do storytelling, especially to children in primary schools. Am I right about that?
That is right. That has been most of the things that I have done in Scotland or Great Britain is really going around hundreds of schools, telling stories about Africa, playing music about Africa, telling stories about the world, and playing music about the world. It's a happy place to be. It's really, really is very nice place to be. So, yeah, I do music. Normally, I will go to primary schools. I also visit nursing homes. I visit prisons to do music therapy. Um, and I would also occasionally do corporate drumming, that is using African drumming as a healing and team building and bringing people together to enjoy themselves and feel the energy of their own group and their presence in life. So yeah, I love, but because of the corona, it's really
Yeah.
been difficult to do those things because my kind of work relies on being there and being able to make a presence.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And I know you're doing quite a lot, but today we'll really be concentrating on your recent performance. And let's kick off with this one. And I intentionally picked this one because it's just like at the tail end of that performance. So let's listen to this.
Thank you so much. We've had so much fun, and we hope you've had fun. We know a lot of you have been involved in very difficult negotiations to make sure that in another 50 years we can still have clean air to breathe and good air to exhibit. So those of you who have come from far away, on behalf of Glasgow African Balafon Orchestra, would really like to say our big appreciations for coming to Glasgow and enjoying a very peaceful conference. So put your hands up for Glasgow one more time.
Right, that is the COP 26, the
Yes,
program that just ended here in Glasgow.
yeah.
How did you get into performing at this great event?
Well, life is full of coincidences and shared experiences. It just happens that a while ago, about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, one of our band members, their parent, was also working on a project with at a university in New Orleans,
Right.
and they had a concept that we could bring uh, 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 awareness about Africa, New Orleans, and music, and then just the human spirit, the global spirit of being together and actually using that to raise awareness about how urgent, because if you're looking at the case of New Orleans, you are looking at in the space of within 2 decades, there's been two absolutely devastating hurricanes. The first one, Hurricane Katrina, and just recently, Hurricane Vida. So it was just to use that opportunity. The lady who helped us to organize the whole thing, her name is Dr. Vivian Norris. So she was very, very, very helpful. She organized all the difficult parts, the bits that exchange of communication. When you are doing things at Green Zone, it's not that easy, I discovered. But Dr. Vivian Norris was able to help us and just kind of take the management of all of that organization and all that. And then so my part was just to focus on putting on a good performance at the COPs 26. And that one, I will leave it to the audience to judge whether we did a good job. But we had a thoroughly good and great time at the Green Zone. It was at the Science Center.
Okay, thank you very much for that. We're going to listen to some of those music, the performance by your group. But while I'm getting that ready, I really want to ask because I heard you've got a studio now in Glasgow.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Right. And because what we try to do is also to encourage others, either people that could make use of that space. I mean, if you have that sort of facility, and of course other people too that might be struggling, for them to be able to get a sort of inspiration on someone like you that you've walked the rope, and you are at a level now where some others that are just starting up or that are struggling on their own could also pick one or two things from you. So how has the journey been? And per the studio, I know you've actually invited me to come, and I'm promising you that I will come right there. I will set a time to come. So how's the journey been, and how easy has it been?
Well, you see, you journalists, you are very good at asking so many questions, and so you know, and you make it look simple, but I have to weave through what you have said. The journey itself has been amazingly happy and tough. You know, the tough side is visible. But it's been really, really, really rewarding to develop the studio and to give opportunities. There is other musicians that uses the studio regularly, and they are able to work on their work and focus. And the space is just so important for musicians and artists. So Gabo Studios is very well situated. It's at Commerce Street. So it's if you check, you can find the details, but it's 92 Commerce Street. And then so it's actually we're doing we right now the studio people can hire and stuff, but I am going to be doing drumming healing workshop very soon coming, and that will be Wednesdays. So it will be Wednesdays at the studio, and then I'll be able to use the drums and percussions to engage. We are coming out of Corona. A lot of people just need time and space together. So I will be doing Wednesday African drum and healing sessions, but there will be a lot of other nice programs coming, and then we can all take part. I think my phone is going bananas, so let me just check. Respect.
Right. While you're getting that sorted, we'll put on one of the videos that have been sent across to us, and Right. What a great performance. And I just look at look at the group, and you could clearly pick from there when people say that music is a universal language. We say that music transcends culture, it transcends color, it transcends ethnicity. So, with the composition of your group, I've seen both yourself and people from that are from other ethnic group, and everybody seems to be syncing together, with their percussion. So, was this deliberate to have a group that is mixed, or did it just happen?
It's to a great extent just a shared experience made of coincidences, sometimes perhaps maybe destiny. We don't know for sure. Um, uh, but yeah, I just started at some point teaching a little bit of balafon to a group of four young musicians, and we just had a good banter right from the beginning, and we just kept going. So it's a jazz band, and they are called Amara. So they are very, very, very good band. Those who have not found the time to hear them, if you Google Amara, Amara Glasgow, I'm sure you'll find lots of information and music. But they are very good. So I was lucky to have the privilege of working with already amazing bunch of, as I'm saying this, one of the guys, Dan, I'm sure he will go in, Chief, So, but they are just incredibly amazing. And it's so easy and joy to work with people who are naturally talented and dedicated to their art. So, our diversity is just defined by coincidence, and the fact that how we all came together. That one is very, very, very difficult to explain. But some of us have got connections with Malaysia. Some of us have got connections with Barbados. Some of us have got connections with Scotland. Including myself. I've just done my DNA or whatever family, and I've discovered that some of my genes are also from Scotland. So it's life is a mesmerizing experience. I thought I was 100% Ghanaian, but I found out that 0 point something of my ancestors were from Scotland.
Oh, wow. That's so great. And I think that's what most people have been finding out. And of course,
yeah. Life is not that straight away.
That quite a lot of people from around there also have been tracing their ancestry to Africa and some other parts of the world as well.
Yeah.
At least maybe with that in the future, probably that will have a sort of an effect on the issue of maybe discrimination and all these things when we all come to realize that we might have different color, but then our ancestry might be heading to the same place.
Well,
Now, go on.
at the end of the day, as the Scottish people say, we are all joke Thompson Bearings. Nobody come from moon, or nobody come from. At the end of the day, but I think human beings sometimes, in the absence of nothing, bad becomes good. So, and that's what I see a lot in the world today, that we just all sit down and sometimes say that there's not enough good going on. But I just love playing the music and doing the art, and through it, I'm able to express that positive vibration and vitality that the world is a very nice place, irrespective of all the acrimonious circumstances that we sometimes find ourselves. In all, is good food always tastes nice, and good music is always brilliant to play.
Brilliant. Shortly before we go for a shorter break, I really want to ask a Glasgow African Balafon Orchestra, how did you come about this name?
The name just came naturally, partly because as an artist, I've used two main African instruments in all my work. So it's the djembe drum, which is actually not my native instrument, but the djembe has become Africa's most popular drum. And actually, I would think in the world, djembe drum is one of the most popular drums if it is if you take a drum kit away. Um, so I have used the djembes all my life in Scotland, and I have also used the xylophone, which in the Francophone countries they call the balafon. So, and in looking for a very, very, very good name, I thought Glasgow African. Of course, I couldn't say xylophone or Jansi. I call it Jansi in my traditional language. It's Jansi, but I cannot say Glasgow African Jansi Orchestra. It will not have sounded as much fun as Glasgow African Balafon Orchestra. And the sound Gabo just sounds like it sounded like complete. Once I reached Gabo, I thought, no, this is something worth investing a lot of effort and a lot of stamina and energy and time onto.
Right, thank you very much for that, Chief Chebe from Glasgow African Balafon Orchestra. We'll go for a shorter break now, and we will just come back just few seconds. Please do stay on with us. let's put that behind. We'll still come back to it. Um, that's just at the COP26 as well, which is just like a good representation of African music. Just to let me pick from your wisdom and experience. Many people believe that most music of the world has their rhythm base from Africa. Is this something you shared?
Yes, Africa to some extent is like the enigma because if you trace in things, then you tend to find out that you will have to find a way to go to Africa, and especially when we are playing the traditional instruments, we are able to demonstrate that all the sounds that are around the world can be incorporated in the traditional instruments. So in that case, yes, even the actual evidence is there that the music, world music, originates from Africa. But even just more than that, if you look at the origin of world music, which is through jazz music, global jazz music. If you look at the origin of that, and that was part of the connection I had with Dr. Charles from New Orleans, that he was saying that the origin of that jazz music, New Orleans being the origin of global jazz music, is the city that Louis Armstrong and all those guys, they all learned from New Orleans. And that culture was brought from West Africa and partly Congo. So according to the professor of history of American music, Dr. Charles Chamberlain, that culture, the culture, the Congo, they call it the tango or whatever they call it. Yeah, it's tango. So Sunday afternoons, people go, and so that global community sense of bringing music, that culture came directly from both West Africa and Congo through the slaves who came. They still maintain that culture. And that's where the origin of global jazz music that we see today come from. And world music, essentially, is a greater grandson or a grandchild or a son or a daughter of jazz music. So yes, you are, there is that living evidence that music came from Africa, just like many other very good things, including human beings.
Sure. Right. Thanks for that. Let's quickly look into the other part as well, like you growing up and coming to like drumming and music. We could mention quite those of great artists and musicians from Africa, talking about Fela Anikulapo Kuti and co. Um, could you pick any of those artists in those time that were your inspiration?
Yeah, in reality, we've at the global level, we've had very little in terms of the main artists that have been able to make a global presence. But the beauty and diversity of African music is such that we actually need to come out with a new global platform that we are able to bring it out, because the world platform, the global music platform, current one, it doesn't sincerely enable us to develop to our full capacity. But the likes of Baba Mal and Youssou N'Dour and Fela Kuti, all of these guys, Baba, the Congolese guy, Baba, what's his name? The guy who played around, Papa Wimba. all of this, all of these guys have been very, very, very influential at the world stage in just making sure that African music is always alive. And if you actually look at the way the global music is centered today, although they will never, never, never fully say it's the currency is still African, it's the heartbeat, you know, so it's still influenced by African musicians, contemporary ones. Hello?
Yep. Okay, I'm back. So, I mean, when you look at most of the music genre all over, whether it's hip hop, jazz, and the other ones, they will always take their root right back into Africa with that rhythm. So, now moving on, you've got an event coming up on Saturday. And
yes,
this is it's great that the restrictions from COVID, you know, it's been lifted now. People can meet, and there's quite some. I mean, when you look at the health, the area where health policy is focused at the moment, much is veering towards mental health because of the belief that people have been isolated for so long. And of course, when people are isolated, it does have a sort of impact on their mental stability. So people now coming out, and not just coming out, but also coming into an arena whereby they could free their mind, enjoy the music, get the message, and mingle with others. I think it's something that is quite very, very positive at the moment. So I think what you putting up, and then we'll get some details about it. But then, do you have an actual target? Why are you putting this up?
Well, you see, in my own experience, I think that the COP26 summit and or the Global Climate Change Summit in Glasgow, I think it's been really a wonderful success in the sense that at least for once there is global consensus that the earth is warming at an alarming rate, at a rate which we can no longer just go and sleep and forget about tomorrow. So I think it's not just blah, 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 blah alone. Greta is right. A lot of it is blah, blah, blah. But I also think that for once, the earth is united in terms of agreement that we are facing an alarming and climatic and dangerous scenario in the very near future or in the medium future. And that realization, I think, has been very intensely realized in Glasgow, that everybody is going home realizing that there are a lot of things to do, and those things don't need to be done tomorrow, next year, or the year after. They need to be done now. Now is the time for action. So it's in the spirit of all of that. I just from and also Afro-Celtic Connections, which I represent, really believes that music and culture and art is one way that we can contribute to a happy society. I dream and I aspire and I love to live in a happy society. And so the music center is just that kind of celebration. Corona is almost, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, Corona is no longer the major issue. It's about mental well-being, spiritual well-being, and how people can earn a good living and be happy. So bringing people together with a lot of musicians would be one way of, just having a global dance. a party, an excuse to party. You know what I mean? So, the hard times are there. We're going to live through them. But at the end of the day, we also sometimes have to enjoy the pleasure of the moment. So Saturday is about coming together after all the upheavals of COP26 and 2 weeks of nothing but policemen and lots of people around the world and helicopters roaming around the sky of Glasgow. We just want to come together as happy globalists to enjoy lovely world music, Afrobeat, and global jazz.
Right, thank you for that. And I think we will need to get details of that event, the venue, the timing, and if there's
So,
anything.
so it's 7 o'clock till midnight, and it's Friday, Saturday, the 20th of November, which is this Saturday coming, and it is at Mary Hill Community Central Hall. And tickets are available on Eventbrite. So if you look on Eventbrite and you are looking for Afro-Celtic Connections or Gabo, or I think Afro-Celtic Connection is the easiest search, or event. On Eventbrite, you can find tickets to buy, and it's going to be a lovely, lovely, lovely occasion, and we would love as many people to come, and there's a lot of exciting musicians coming to play.
Okay, great. And if I get that right, that is Mary Hill Community Hall, yeah?
Yeah, Community Central Hall.
Community Center Hall, and that is 7 p.m. this
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
And people could pick up tickets on Eventbrite.
Yeah, or at the door.
Or at the door. Yeah.
Yeah, but the tickets are going really quite fast. So I will advise to guarantee those who don't like disappointment to just pick up a ticket online, and then you are ready to go. Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
and is there any?
yeah, it's just giving.
Right. Is there? You said there are many other artists coming on to play, so that means it's not just only your group. Am I right with that?
No. It's not only just Gabo. There is gonna be India Blue. So
Okay.
India Blue is jazz, beautiful jazz. She's got one of the most mesmerizing voices in the universe. So she will be a pleasure for anybody who want to come and just enjoy a global party. And there's likely to be Cynthia Gentle from Edinburgh. Cynthia, our own Cynthia. And then there's going to be Sambaseni from, our brother Sambaseni from Edinburgh will be joining us as well. So, and then DJ Buto, the warrior, is also playing. And so it's exciting night. It's just going to be fun and lovely dancing rhythms and good music.
Right, thank you. For our viewers, both those that are watching us live and others that will be picking this up later. I mean, one thing that we've always mentioned here in community is that we need to build our community. You see some of the videos that I've played of Chief Chebe and his group. We've seen the people that are right on there. So, and if we don't build our community, nobody is going to do it for us. So, as we've always mentioned on our program, especially when we bring in artists or musicians or other people that are into creative work or businesses within the African community, we always encourage our people to go out en masse and support them. Of course, you're going to have a great night, you're going to enjoy yourself, but also at the back of your mind, you know that you are supporting a creative artist and groups within the African community. Obviously, you all know Cynthia. He's been on this program in the past, and we hope to drop in as well. Hopefully.
That would be really, really nice.
Yeah. So go out there, support the group, enjoy yourself, have a night out, and enjoy, and of course, support this and other group. But before we go, we'll still listen to some of this music before we take the last segment of the interview for today. Right, let's have that. Right, Chief, you spoke about your studio and you also training people on drumming, and I don't know whether that includes singing. So, if people wants to get in touch with you, what's the best contact? Sorry, I think we're not hearing you. Yeah, I think we're
There's
hearing you now. Yes.
there's Gabo Orchestra at gmail.com, or you can go to gabosounds.com. So Gabo Gabo sounds.com, and then you can get in touch. More information about the drumming program will start in about 2 weeks. So more information and project flyers will be out very soon.
Okay, thank you very much. I know most creative persons don't like to answer this question. It's not that they don't like to answer the question, but at times they may not like to make projections. I
Yeah.
mean, where do you see Gabo in another 2 years?
Where do we see Gabo in another 2 years? I think where Gabo is today is a very, very, very good place. Where we will see Gabo in another 2 years is for the gods to determine. But I just think what we are trying to do is to have something that is culturally strong enough that if there is something happening in Scotland at the national or global or international level, we can say that at least from we can contribute something. what has been my difficulty is that there's a lot of Africans in Scotland now, and we don't have one single African musician on the national scene that we can all say as Africans, oh, this is one of us. So Gabo, just apart from being music, and what I'm also hoping is that we are changing the story, that if we can work on our music as Africans, and if we can find good collaboration, other people who are not Africans but they are good musicians, and we work with them, then I think the sky is the limit. And Gabo is not going to be an exception. It will be the norm in the future. There will be other ones that will come. My hope is there's other in another 2 years we can talk about 3 or 4 bands that are African-led, that are very good, and people in Scotland, for example, know about it. It's just to show that Africans, we are very good in music. Nobody can take that away, that logic away. So if we are very good in music, how come we can be living in Scotland, a population of 5 or 6 million people, and there's no one African music star, or one African good writer, or one African television star, or one African actor, or one African media person that we can say, yes, these people, they deserve to be acknowledged. So I think that's where I'm taking the journey, is that apart from playing music with other people who enjoy playing music, I'm also a storyteller, and I want to tell a different story than I'm expected to live and believe.
Okay. Thank you very much. And if I may ask, and I think one of the things that I've always liked about your person, like I said, we've known for clearly over 10 years,
Yeah.
is this push to have Africans at the forefront of the community. And we know that we can't do that without help and assistance. So, if there's one help that, when it comes to your group in particular, if I ask you, what one help would you ask for?
You see, at the moment, the Afro-Celtic connection itself is struggling. We don't have resources. We don't have, we do need support, because, to actually do something original is painstakingly very long and hard. And, if we don't have time to do it properly, then we end up failing. And then all we have is a record of failure. Doesn't mean we cannot succeed, you see. But to succeed, sometimes it does need a bigger understanding that there is a challenge.
Sure.
And that challenge takes extraordinary effort to break through. So I have struggled in many ways, financially as well, because sometimes I just devote myself in doing what I believe I can do to help, and whether I'm earning a living out of it or not. So sometimes it's a struggle, but I also believe in it. I believe that we can't just talk and say that, oh, the world, there's so many hatred, there's so many, and do nothing about it. We need to do something about it. And one way I find is very good for me is music. You are doing something about it. You play music, somebody like it. They don't care whether you are African or Egyptian or Somali, or they don't care whether you are Iranian or whether you are from Russia, or if the music is good, people will listen to it. It's the same as food. We need to achieve that in African food as well. I would like to see an African restaurant that is like a chain, that you can see, like, because look at Nando's and the rest. All of them is just African food. They just spice it up in a different way, and they know that our own people will like it. But we are not really benefiting anything from it. So the journey is not only with music, it's also with nearly every other sphere of life where African culture is so versatile and can contribute a lot, and yet sometimes it's just packaged to negative bundle of nothingness. And that is the narrative that I am interested in changing and helping to change, either through music, through literature, through just being around, being helpful, being there for anybody else who would love. Because Africa is not a small place. Africa is the heart of the world, and we cannot. In the past, we are just framed as just a bunch of uh, losers to some extent, and I'm not happy for that. I Even if I'm not rich in what I'm doing, I'm very wealthy, and that wealth is an eternal wealth. It's not something that anybody can take away.
Right. Thank you very much, Chief Chebe from Glasgow African Balafon Orchestra. Thank you for coming on the program. I mean, you're always welcome on this program at any time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you so much, OJ Media. What you are doing is a fabulous thing, and then please, whoever it is, wherever you are, please come to Mary Hill Community Center on 20th, Saturday the 20th, 7 till 12 p.m. Respect, you will have a good time. Thank you, Samuel.
You are most welcome. So please just stay on with us, viewers, as we take it's that one sounds like jazz to me. And that one. Right, and that brings us to the end of the program. For everyone that has joined us on this program, thank you very much. Uh, Chief Chebe, thank
Yes,
you very much. We hope to
thank,
see you on
thank you.
Saturday.
Respect.
Thank you. Now, we will definitely be getting back right on with us on Saturday. Remember, on OY Media Scotland, we broadcast on Saturday from 3 p.m. and, of course, on Sundays from 6 p.m. We do have special programs like this where we need to bring in people from our community as things demands. Of course, next Saturday, you will be right on to another wonderful and great African person in the person of Alfred Komalafe, and is currently a commissioner in Wisconsin in the United States. I won't give the information more than that. Please do stay with us on our Facebook page. We'll drop the message there, and of course, by Saturday we have him online. He's been doing quite a lot, both in his base right there, and of course also in Africa. So until then, I remain yours faithfully. My name is Samuel Oluwadamilare Jerokun, and I'll catch up with you on Saturday. Remember also the event that is coming up on Saturday, and that is at the Mary Hill Central Hall at 7 p.m. We're going to have some couple of acts there from Africa. So just go out there, enjoy yourself, and of course, support the community. Until then, peace.